One thing that almost never happens in the sneaker business is the combination of hype, nostalgia, and performance. But today we're going to talk about a shoe that meets all three of those. What's good, sneaker community? My name is Nick, host of the Sneaker History Podcast. I spent the last 20 or so years being super obsessed with sneakers and working in the industry for companies like Complex and StockX and Finish Line and a host of others. More importantly though, I have been in love with sneakers for about 40 of the 45 years that I've been alive. That's probably too much information to start out a video, but hey, here we are, and I'm going to talk about one of the most important shoes for the sneaker game over the last couple of years, and arguably the most important basketball shoe to have come out in the last 5+. Of course, this came from Michael. Shout out to Michael in the Discord community. If you know, you know. We had a Sneaker History Secret Santa, as we always do, and this is the gift that I was given. It got to me a little bit late because I was doing some traveling and wasn't able to pick it up from the post office box, but it's here now, so I figured I would share it, and I am stoked to get this pair. I didn't know what was inside, so I opened it. Sorry, but I couldn't wait anyway. Without further ado, let's take a look at, if you know, you know. This box is a good one. All right, here we are. Anthony Edwards, established in Georgia, 2001. Don't follow the wave. The irony is the first colorway of this shoe that I got was actually the new wave. I think that's the kind of aqua blue colorway that first came out in like early 2024 or maybe late 2023. And now here I am, about to get my first pair of lows. Whew. This colorway is sick. Honestly, the carbon fiber on the heel is one of my favorite things about this shoe. This is my first pair of lows, the Blue Burst colorway. I'm pretty stoked to wear this. If you know, I traveled to Japan last year for the first time, and it was an amazing trip. I've got more content from that trip still to put out, but I wore the original AE1 New Wave almost the entire trip. I only took 2 pairs of shoes for that trip, and the AE1 was one of them, and I wore them casually for 10 days straight, basically. And man, it's still one of my favorite pairs of shoes. I hooped in it a little bit. It's pretty great. All right, let's get this out of the way. My big ass size 13s here. If you're not in the Sneaker History Discord, you definitely need to join. This is one of the reasons why I think the Sneaker History Discord is incredible, is because people look out for you, and even when we do our Secret Santas, people that you might not talk to on a regular basis in the community, they know enough about you to get you something that's actually cool as shit. So again, shout out to Michael for sending these my way. A little bit more about the AE1 though. I think the AE1 is the perfect example of hype, nostalgia, and performance. Now, I know that you're probably thinking, how can there be nostalgia for a shoe that just came out? Well, all of the ads go after the competition in ways that we haven't seen in a long time. We even saw KD respond to him on Twitter before. I don't know if it was called X then, I haven't been on there in a long time, but KD responded saying he would never wear these shoes. Of course, that just means that he's getting more publicity out of it. So the ads themselves were reminiscent of the old days of sneakers, the nostalgia days, the good old days, if you will, of sneakers, when everything was more competitive. Brands were a little bit more cheeky with each other. Brands were going at each other a little bit more. And really, competition was just fierce. You know, there wasn't so much dominance. And Nike being the dominant force in the industry over the last, 5 to 10 years, Adidas really kind of came up with the AE1, especially on the basketball side. You know, there's been glimpses of great things from Adidas basketball for the last 10 years or so, but I think that it's been a long time coming that they get something that's actually kind of a home run. So let's take a look at the AE1 Lows, because if you didn't know, the AE1 Lows are actually significantly different than the original AE1 Mids or Highs. While we're talking about the shoes primarily today, it should be said that Ant is obviously a different kind of beast. He is a different kind of beast. What else can you say? He's one of the best in the league, and he came out and said, I'm one of the best in the league, even before I think people gave him credit for being one of the best in the league, which is pretty dope. That said, I think that that's the other part of this combination, the performance aspect of it. Seeing him flying through the air, dunking on people, hitting game-winning threes, doing all that he's done for the Timberwolves. That's really like the second part to this whole equation of the perfect storm, if you will. Now, I'm no Nightwing or, you know, Wear Tester's performance review, although I did start out my career in the sneaker business by wear testing shoes for Nike, and a lot of people don't know that. But if you're subscribed, hit the link below or whatever to do that, and the bell and the notifications and all those things. You'll be one of the first people to know. Not that it really matters, but anyway, let's get back into this shoe. I think also, I don't know if you noticed this, but like it's kind of perfect for this Giants hat that I'm wearing here, so that's a nice touch. Now, I did a little bit of hooping in the AE1 highs, and I thought the traction was super great. They didn't change much about the outsole or whatever, the wrap, but they did put in Light Boost, which is a little bit different, a little bit lighter, if you will. But what I think is really interesting that you can kind of see looking through this semi-translucent outsole, these are pods of that Light Boost. It's almost like, it reminds me a lot of Zoom Air being separated, where, you know, a lot of the Air Max units in the higher end basketball shoes would have like the full length or whatever, blah, blah, blah. The Low is actually modified and a little bit different than the actual AE1 mids. And it's not just the outsole, it's not just the cushioning setup, because I do believe this is Light Strike Pro and Light Boost, but it's encapsulated, which I think is really dope. It's a great idea to keep that from being drained by the elements. If you have a Boost shoe of any kind, you know exactly how the wear and tear on Boost, especially on the exterior of the shoes, can kind of kill it. So if you're hooping and you get caught up, stepped on, whatever, and somebody clips your heel, that's going to be a problem. Same thing with Exposed Boost on just about every pair of Ultra Boost or NMDs or any of those shoes going into the basketball lineups, the D Roses and whatnot. I think it's just a cool touch, a cool improvement to keep it encapsulated on here, and you can kind of see here. Also seems like, I don't have the other pair right in front of me, but it also seems like the interior of this Low is actually a little bit more contoured, which is going to be interesting. Hopefully it fits the same. They fit true to size in my opinion, but I don't really need to get into all that stuff. I think if you wanted these, you probably already know all too well about them. Just wanted to talk about them and shout out the Discord and Michael for sending these my way. I'm super stoked to have them. They are an amazing looking pair, and I'm going to be wearing the hell out of them over the next foreseeable future. If you love sneakers, you're in the right place. Make sure you hit subscribe. Hopefully I will see you on the next video, if you're in the comments especially. I appreciate y'all for supporting me all these years. It's been an amazing ride for me, and I'm really excited to get this channel growing so I have something of my own to share with the rest of the sneaker community. But you can always catch me on the Sneaker History Podcast, or on the Cars and Kicks Podcast, the Exhaust Notes Formula One Podcast, and my weekly newsletter over on Substack. Thanks for watching this episode of my sneaker collection, whatever I'm calling this. If you got any ideas for what I should call this channel or these videos, definitely let me know, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.